All right, well, it seems as if I only have a minute left of this video and I didn't even get into anything I want to talk about. See what I mean about the ADD and how I can ramble on and on and on and on? But I mean, like I said, these ideas aren't necessarily coming from me. Venus and Gemini makes you be able to create or tell stories through art, according to, I think it was Alyssa. Also has the moon in there, so it affects my mind. And it mirrors it, so like the moon's art's acting like Venus. It's like water, I don't know. Something to that effect, but anyways. So, just to close it off, I'm going to get the next video. I'm going to talk about Kabbalah a little bit more. That's what my focus is going to be on today. About the energy there, about the two pillars, and how that references to the middle pillar and the microcosmic orbit. And I'm going to talk about Pluto, Scorpio, and my generation, and various other things. All right, so initially today I was going to be talking about all the ways our subconscious mind affects us, but instead of giving you that right now, I'm sure you probably already know a lot of ways that it can, but knowing how to affect the subconscious mind and knowing how to take in energy, and the reason why the middle pillar and microcosmic orbit is so important to your spiritual growth and getting energy and healing and all of that. Because I mean, even if you don't understand how these practices heal your body, doesn't matter, it's still gonna heal your body, as long as you don't believe too much that you know how to heal your own body with your conscious mind and think that you're healing your body by consciously thinking you're healed, because that's not going to do shit. You got to get that into your subconscious mind. If you get the program in your subconscious mind that you're free from disease, free from illness, free from sickness, free from viruses, free from infection, free from, anything maleficent, and you replace it with all benevolent energies that promote healing, that increase cell growth and healing and regenerating, then you're good. That is what you want to do. But you can also do things to change all that. Now, I went over many times that there's a lot of things that we can't see that we know exists. Like, for instance, the air we're breathing now, I've already said, from your eye to my eye right now. The reason you can see my eye, from you looking at your phone or computer right now, between you and your computer screen or your phone screen, there's air there, but you can't see the air, and that's why you can see the next item. Now, if air had something in it, like when hot and cold mix together, when two airs mix together, okay, you can't see hot, you can't see cold, but when they mix, you can see a change. Sometimes you get fog. Sometimes when it's a really hot day there, you can see fucking little, not mirage, but you know how that you see on top of butane or propane, whenever it starts leaking out or whatever, it hits something, you'll see it get colder, frost up, condensation basically. You see these types of condensation. So you can see something when the two polarities mix, right? Because you're getting a reaction, because everything has electricity. Now, when you see that polarity, you might not think of electricity or energy, but it is. When the plus and the minus mix on anything, you get a reaction. That's why with things you can't see, well, whenever the plus and the minus mix, whenever the hot and cold temperatures mix of a gas, of anything, a reaction happens. But anyways, so that's just to set the base for this. It's a type of NLP trick, giving you true facts, thus the statement I'm about to tell you, you're going to equivalent as also true. And that's an NLP trick, one of the most subtle ones, that is probably one of the best ones, one of the most profound ones. But anyways, so microcosmic orbit, okay? I think everybody should do both. You can do just the microcosmic orbit, you can do just the middle pillar, both will work just fine. But to me, they're two kind of different things. And this is just my conceptualization from it. I haven't read this anywhere. I haven't got this from anybody. I'm not taking this from anybody. But the the middle pillar is getting astral energy. You're getting energy from source. When you do your Kabbalistic cross and your lesser banishing, you're projecting that you are bigger than the world. You're the biggest thing in space, right? the planets are fucking small compared to you. So it's basically like affirming that within your body, you know, you have, because like right now, whenever you're taught in school that Jupiter is the biggest planet, Saturn is the next biggest one, far, far away, but we can see it, you know, and then even Mars is not as big as Earth or whatever, but you know, point is, these things are huge and you're small and insignificant. But when you start doing this ritual, you're changing that. You're saying, no, I'm big, I'm large, and I'm significant. And these heavenly bodies are big and I'm small, but there's also a universe, as within so without, as above so below. There's also a universe where I am bigger than these planets. So that's why I like, when I first get up there, I'll say hi to them all. Like, hey, what's going on, son? What's up, Saturn? What's up, Venus? Looking good, baby. Shit like that, you know, just, but they're small, because even the Earth is at your feet. You know what I mean? And that's another way you can conceptualize the whole feet in the ground and the light orb for the middle pillar, but I like doing my other way. Anyways. So you are bigger than everything, which makes it a lot easier for you to fucking get things to you because, well, you're just big, so you can grab anything. But this way, it's like, it puts that whole planets as chakras in perspective. Because if they're that small, well, they could be your energy centers. They could line up within your body, like they do, whether you want to think about it the way we're taught in school, the sun being first, and then everything else after that, or, you know, whatever, however you want to look at it. You know, Saturn being the first one, and Jupiter, which doesn't really make sense, but it kind of does for a male. I always assume moon for my sacral, but Jupiter is like the male version of the moon, which is another way of looking at that whole cup thing, right? There's a male and a female version of water. Just like for air, we've got fucking 3, which shows you how important these things are to us. Okay, fire and earth are super, uber important, obviously, because our world is Earth, and then we have Venus, so Earth has 2. Fire only has 1, which means you need some fire, but way too much fire is dangerous. You don't want too much fire. That's why we only have 1 fire planet, okay? And, you know, if you get Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto involved, it gets a little more difference. But just going with the 7 main ones, okay, as a starting point. That's how I look at it. And maybe that's just from my world. Maybe someone who's got a lot of fire might want to add the sun in there, and that's fine. You know, do it. Do whatever feels right to you. Okay, and that's what I said about the chakras. People like to say this chakra is this planet, this chakra is this planet. I think it depends, because for a woman, we say where your Jupiter is going to match your man, and for a man, I think I don't know if it's Moon or Venus. I think Moon's your mom, so Venus would be your fucking your wife, technically. And you know, I have Venus and the Moon both in Gemini. And does that mean my mom is like my wife? Well, they got a lot of similar qualities. Both don't drink, don't do drugs, both are very smart with money. All right, so I don't want to keep going too far down this path there. That's why I kind of stopped the video for a second. But so yeah, Jupiter and either Venus or Moon is where you look for your wife. But just to get into old witchcraft and gods and goddesses for a second. I know Diana is the moon in its entirety now, but at one point it wasn't. Diana has a brother, Atlas, and I know that's Roman and Greek names mixed, you know, but whatever the Venus name in Greek would be Atlas, and whatever the Greek or the Roman name for Atlas, you know what I'm trying to get at, okay? They're brother and sister. And I know it's not Jupiter, would be the other one, because that would be Zeus. But nonetheless, in astrology anyways, Jupiter is a water sign, all right? I have Jupiter in Pisces. I got a double whammy of water there. But it expands my Pisces. But anyways, but it's in my 11th house, which 11th house has to do with, I think, money online and a few other things. But obviously that's the most important one that I think of, right? Money, because I'm a Taurus. But point is, what I'm trying to say is, there's a male half and a female half to that moon. There's polarity, positive and negative. You have both your nodes, right? There's plus and minus. Well, I think Diana used to be the waxing part, okay? Would be the plus, and the waning would be the minus. But they're both aspects of the moon, male and female of the moon. But anyway, so, you know, your cup half full, your cup half empty. I can go on and on about that, but that's not what I'm supposed to be talking about. But point is, I think you can decide which chakra is which. If you want your sacral to be the fucking moon, then be it the fucking moon. If you want Jupiter to be your fucking sacral, then be it. Just make sure you think about it. You don't just pick randomly and then don't give any substance to it. Decide what makes more sense to you. Should your moon be down there? And if so, why? You know, or should it be closer up? Because like the moon and Mercury are pretty quick, so maybe the Mercury is your, if Mercury is, you think the throat chakra, well then maybe the moon should be your third eye. You know, it is the mind after all. The third eye is connected to the mind, or it's part of the mind, the mother, right? But anyways, we back to what I'm supposed to be talking about. Oh, but another thing about that is, you know, the whole earth star chakra thing people talk about, right? There's a chakra below your feet. How is that possible? How is that possible? Think about it. Where's the fucking earth? It's below your fucking feet. Like, really, in the physical, it's below your fucking feet right now. So you connect to it. So the earth star chakra that everybody has is not necessarily something that's below your body, that's just floating around, kind of like your crown, right? So you're like, how do I have a fucking chakra up here that I can't even see? Whatever. Well, think about that in a different way as well, okay? You gotta think about that in a different way. If the earth is down there, you know, where's the moon and where's the sun? You know, anyways. But the point is, the earth star chakra is below your feet. And that's why when you do that middle pillar, you see your feet and the earth around it glowing. Like that's where the energy is being affected. You know what I mean? Because even the microcosmic orbit, especially the one I listen to, it tells you to do that. It tells you to see the energy going down out of your feet and back up through it. Which, you know, necessarily you don't even have to do that for the microcosmic orbit, to be honest. I like using that one because it helps me guide my visualizations, but I don't do necessarily everything he says, because, and I'll explain that in a bit when it comes to the whole tongue thing, so maybe I should tell people that. But if you started using that one and doing it, awesome, good fucking job. It's a good way to train your mind to see what they says, but there's maybe a few differences that I would do, and once again, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to stick to these little fucking things, but your tongue is uber important. But anyways, the earth star chakra, well, is the earth, okay? It's the other earth element that we are currently working on. And then when we finally evolve this fucking planet, well, then there'll be fucking 2 earth fucking signs for the next fucking planet that ends up being developed. Or maybe shit's gonna be developed on Mars next, or maybe we're going to Venus next. Who fucking knows? I don't know how it works. I'm just trying to throw out ideas. But nonetheless, earth star chakra is below your feet because the earth is below us. She's below us. You know, she receives us. We're positive. We're above her, and she's minus, okay? But anyways, so back to what I'm talking about, the microcosmic orbit and middle pillar. They're both important because the microcosmic orbit is taking the energy that is circulating your body, that your body is kind of producing. But what happens is it runs up, there's 2 channels. The one runs up your back. I think it's blue. And it also has a more specific name that I can't remember or probably pronounce, but it runs up your back and then comes around your head, and then it goes into your mouth. And when it comes into your mouth, it goes down, is it the front of the spine? Yeah, it goes down the front of the spine through you, and then from there it switches and comes back up the back of the spine within you, and then comes back out. So, and now it's doing the opposite of the way it came in. So that's like, it's like 2 channels, right? It's one and then the other. And this actually almost makes the fucking the sign for the yin yang sign. If you really look at it, that's what it makes. It makes the yin yang sign. That's the energy going into your body. But see, what's happening is the energy is coming in and then it goes back out. So the energy that you just received, is not staying with you, it's leaving you. It's, you know, instead of being replenished, you get replenished with energy, but then you get deplenished. You know what I mean? And this is the energy that you use every day. This is also energy your body needs for healing and stuff like that. You can say, well, I thought that's what the alkaline water was. Yes, but when you make a plant, what does it fucking need? Well, it needs the oxygen for its photosynthesis to change it needs carbon dioxide so it can exhale oxygen for us. It needs water, and it needs the sunlight. It needs those 3 aspects. Something from earth, right? The fourth element, something from earth, something that's made out of earth, needs air, water, and I guess the sun is still technically air, but